Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm going to give you guys some time to come in as we are going to be talking again tonight about wedding etiquettes. And this is week 2 of our wedding etiquette, talking about the proper things that you must do as a guest at a wedding. So come on in, guys. I am so excited about tonight's live broadcast. So when you guys come in, just give me a wave, say something, because I really can't see when you join. So um, I think you have to say something. I don't know how this works, but if you can just say something, give me a wave, use those emojis, I'll love it. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and get started because I do not want this video to be extra long. Again, we're talking about wedding etiquette and we're talking about the proper things that you must do as a guest at a wedding. So, again, my name is Miss Valerie. I'm with Royale Classy Creations, and I am coming to you live tonight with this video. Um, just like last week, we're going to talk about wedding etiquette, and we're going to have fun during this discussion. So I want you guys to join in, ask any questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer questions for you and all that type of stuff. So come on in, have fun with me, and we're just going to get right into this. So last week we talked about the invitations. We're going to talk about that again tonight. But first of all, I just want to let you guys know that as a event planner or decorator, I get a lot of insight into the beginning and the end of the wedding, the middle of the wedding. So I see a lot of stuff that you guys don't see. You guys end up seeing the end result when everyone's together and everyone's happy and everyone's dancing and they're having fun. Is that Lauren? Hey, Lauren. Um, and everybody's having fun. So you don't see the in between when everyone is. There's a lot that goes on in between that, so you don't get a chance to see that. But as event planners and decorators, we get to see a whole lot of that. And as an event planner, I have to be the buffer for some of the things that go on. So last week I was sharing with you. About invitations, and we started out talking about the RSVP process. When they send out those little RSVP cards, how important it is for those to come back, because they have to have accounts as far as the wedding reception goes, um, because that's all a part of their budgeting and knowing how much they're going to be spending out as far as food and things of that nature. So we talked about that, and then we also talked about the new trending process that's going on now with the no children. So that's something new that's been going on. Anybody know about that? Just chime in. That's something new that's been going on with a lot of events, not just weddings. So we talked about that as well last week. So this week we're going to finish up our conversation about wedding etiquette and talking about the invitations. And um, we're going to start out this week by talking about well, let me go back. Okay, so when we think about wedding etiquette and what we should be doing when we're there, I feel like it's important that we know this information and we talk about this information because I want, if we can just talk with one individual or get one individual to see how important it is for them to do what is needed, um, for the individuals that are getting married or these people that are spending money on these events. If we can just get one person to do what they need to do, it would help in so many ways, because at some point it's going to affect more people, and they will understand what goes into planning these big events and the money that goes out. Okay, so now with all that being said, we're going to continue with our discussion, um, talking about invitations again, because I still feel there's some things that we need to be mindful of as guests. So let's go ahead and get started. How many of us have given someone an invitation to an event and they decided to bring the whole family, not just the one person that was told to be invited? So they decided to bring themselves, their two kids, their extra person. Well, um, when you are given an invitation for a wedding, usually, typically, hi, how are you? Typically, when you're given an invitation for a wedding, the wedding invitation will give you the option of a plus one. Please be mindful of that plus one. Again, going back to our topic last week, we talked about the importance of the the number count, because usually anyone can come to a wedding. So everybody's invited for a wedding. But the reception is something different, because there's a lot of money that goes out for that. That reception, the numbers are required to make sure that there's enough food for everyone that's coming, or they're not making more food than they have to. So everything during a wedding has a price to it. And that's pretty much how it is with most events. Everything has a price. And we don't want people to be spending more money than they have to, or having to come out of their pocket later on when they've already budgeted for the amount that they plan to spend for that wedding. So as guests, we need to be mindful of the fact that these people are actually spending their money. And you can't just bring any extra person, because you don't know what kind of relationship they have with that person. They may not be particularly fond of that person. So you don't want to have someone coming to a wedding, or any event for that matter, without that person's knowledge. If they've given you an invitation, they've given you an individual invitation. They haven't given you a invitation for you to publicly take it out and just invite anybody and let anybody know. Because the reality is you have to just, think about the other person, and think about where you would be if you were having that same event and you were spending your money. Okay, so we just need to think about, just put yourself in that other person's shoes, is what I'm trying to say. Because you don't want anybody coming to your event or whatever, and then you're trying to be the hostess with the mostest, and you see this person that you don't particularly like, or you don't really know, and now you're all frazzled and you don't know what to do, because you're trying to make your event the best that it can be. Okay, so remember, when you get that plus one option, one means one. Please just bring that one person. um, and if you missed the video from last week, go back and look at that, so that you can see. Hi, Miss Dr. Shanika Dean. How are you doing? So go back and look at that other video, so that you can kind of see what we were talking about, as far as how the venue charges per person, and how they request the final count. And once they get that final count, that count cannot be changed. So I wouldn't want to be that person that would have to turn your way, which that would possibly be me. Um, I would want to be that person that would have to turn you away, because you did not, one, RSVP, and then you brought more than the uh, allotted people, guests for the event. So let's just be mindful of what we're doing. Um, because the reality is that additional money is not going to come out of your pocket, and you're definitely not going to be trying to pay for that. So let's just think about that, okay? It's all about respect. Again, it's not your day. When you have your event, you can invite as many people as you want, okay? So the next thing I wanted to talk about was attire. And I think we need to be educated on attire, as far as formal attire and non-formal attire. Um, Formal attire, of course, most of us know, some don't, but that's what I'm doing these videos for, so we can educate some people. Formal attire is dressy attire. That means women, you're going to have your dresses on, you're going to have your nice jewelry, you're going to have your hair really nice, you're going to have your makeup, you're going to have your heels on. I mean, it's getting dressed from top to bottom. You're looking good, okay? Men, you're gonna have your suits or your tuxedos on. You're gonna have on your nice dress shoes and your suits, your ties. So that is formal attire. Um, I can't tell you how many times I have gone to an event and seen people come in and they are not properly dressed for that event. And if you're not sure about how to get dressed for a specific event, ask ask someone. I have a friend that she's always invited me to these large corporate events, and sometimes by me not knowing the dynamics behind the event or the history behind the event, I don't know how to dress. So I ask her, what do I need to wear for this event? And she'll let me know. Um, for most of the events, they do expect you to dress up. For some of them, I've gone to different corporate events with her, um, and they were maybe a fundraiser or something of the sort. And she said, well, they're just wearing business attire or, business casual. So it depends on the event, the history behind the event. But if you're not sure, ask. It it's better if you ask than to show up and then you're kind of like the oddball out and you sitting there feeling uncomfortable at an event. Um, so if you don't know, just ask. Um, and the other thing is I've seen where people coming in and they have on, and I hate to point this out, but they have on club attire. I used to go to the club. I know what club attire is. So when I see it, um, you know, but because we're not educated and we don't know, um, we need to, like I said, ask the question. Whatever the event is, we need to try to figure that out. But they have some nice weddings where I've seen where um, like the bridal party had on some nice button down like jean shirts and the tutus and cowboy boots. Now, when you see something like that, then of course, even if you get that invitation, because I'm pretty sure when they sent the invitations out, it had something of the sort on the invitation to let you know that it's going to be a non-formal or casual event. Um, so we have to pay attention to that kind of stuff when we are going to different events that we're invited to. Um, so you have to wear the attire that's fitting for whatever the event is. Okay. Um, and then they have like more trending events now with like all whites, all black, black and white, formal balls, masquerades. Of course, when you see that stuff, just wear what is fitting for that event. I have seen people show up to an all white event and they had on red or green, and you stick out like a sore thumb. And then all eyes are on you, and that's not the situation. It's not your event. So we should not be spending more time looking at you trying to figure out why you came in with the red dress on or whatever the situation may be. Um, So I just think it's more respectful if you receive an invitation for an event to just wear what's fitting for that event. So with that being said, I have to tell you this story. Um, so me and a friend of mine, we were going to a women's networking event, and it was a brunch. Um, so for me, when I see women's networking event and they're talking about different women in business and that type of thing, I know I need to be wearing a business type attire. Um, and then on top of that, the invitation said hats. So it was a networking event for women. It was a brunch, and they had the theme was the different hats, but they had the hats on the invitation, which let me know I needed to wear a hat. So me and my friend, we go out, we go looking for these hats because I don't typically have hats around the house to wear because I don't really like hats. Some people do. I'm just not that person. So we go out, we go purchase this hat, and we go to this event. Let me turn back and say it was a dead of winter, but we knew what to wear. So we had our nice dressy clothes on because we had just come from church. It was on Sunday. We had just come from church. So we go to the event. We're dressed. Got our hats and everything on. People are coming in. And when I tell you, again, dead of winter, they have the front out, the back out, split up the side all the way up to the neck. I mean, it for the person that hosted that event or put that event on, it was probably the last event some of those women would have come to because someone else came in and they were dressed the way they were dressed because they were looking for one thing and they got something totally different. So again, I just think it's respectful that we do what is required of us if we're asked to go somewhere. And you accepted the invitation, which meant you accepted everything that goes along with that invitation. So that's pretty much why I'm doing these videos because, again, I see a lot of stuff that you guys don't see. I see a lot of the pain, the anguish that people go through behind the scenes. And a lot of that I have to block and try to help them. I have to be that person that, is that shoulder, to cry on when things don't go as planned, because of course there's always somebody that's going to just do their own thing. So um, uh, that's why I wanted to do these so that I could, if just one person would listen and just be respectful of what's going on, then I feel like I've done at least something, a little bit of my job. So um so that's all I have for tonight. Like I said, I don't want these to be extra long because I just feel like it doesn't take that much to say what I have to say and be done with it. But I will be continuing my live videos on wedding etiquette. We will be off of invitations because I think we are done with that. And we will be talking about something different. I'm hoping that I will have a special guest with me next week. I'm still working on that. Don't hold me to that. But I'm hoping I will have a special guest with us next week so that we can discuss a little bit of more about wedding etiquette. So if you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can see our newest updated videos as we upload them. Also, I will be posting my DIY video for the week on Thursday, so look out for that as well. Um, The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is I think I shared this information, but if I didn't, I'll share it again. If you are located in the Milwaukee area, we will be doing our DIY workshop on March 7th. So I will put that information in here as well so that you can see that. And that is it, guys. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Um, and I will see you guys next week. Actually, look for that video Thursday. Don't forget that. But I'll see you guys next week. Okay. And as always, be Royale, be classy, and be creative.